Oh, how good is it to be here at Aldinga by Andy College, which is very, very near to the completion, the practical completion of its building works. We're expecting the Department for Education to be able to be moving in November, which is also the case at Riverbanks College, and Goolwa Secondary College and Whyalla Secondary College are not far away. It is such a good day to be here in Aldinga, to be able to celebrate another milestone on the way to these 4 new public schools opening to support these communities across South Australia on day 1, term 1 next year, and that is to celebrate these wonderful uniforms. And we've got with us some fantastic students who will be attending the schools next year, along with Tricia Richmond, the principal at Whyalla Secondary College, Joe Priolo, the principal at Riverbanks College, Ali Colbeck from here at Aldinga, and Beck Moore from Goolwa Secondary College. I think that this is a really important moment for these communities to celebrate because, of course, next year students are already enrolled to be in these schools. At Goolwa, year 7 and 8, there'll be more than 100 students. Here at Aldinga and at Riverbanks will be open from preschool, there'll be children's centres as well for the little ones, up into year 8, and indeed both of them have more than 500, approaching 600 enrolments. And of course, Tricia and the kids who've come down from Whyalla, that is a school that is replacing 3 existing schools, the 2 junior secondary schools and the senior secondary school at Edward John Eyre. That school's going to be open next year with in excess potentially of 1,300 students. And so they're going to be hitting the ground running. And for 2,500 children and students and young people and their families around South Australia, watching these amazing facilities come to life is very special, and those families will now be in a position to place uniform orders. The uniforms have all been developed in consultation, collaboration with local community, and you'll see how each of them tells a story that's relevant to the design and the logos of the schools. And I just think they're a fantastic opportunity for the families and the students to start building that culture that these principals and the staff who have already been engaged have been working on throughout this year, and I know that they all can't wait to be welcoming students at the beginning of next year. It's all part of the Marshall Liberal Government's $1.4 billion education build. It's a record investment in schooling in the history of South Australia. 4 new schools opening next year, as well as a 5th at Morialta in 2023. More than 100 significant upgrades across South Australia, and indeed every one of the 900 public education schools and preschools in South Australia given grants to support an uplift in their facilities during the COVID period. So I'm really proud to be Minister for Education in a government that is investing in education, and I can't wait to see the way these schools will be supporting the children and young people in their communities from day 1 next year.
And Ali, you're the principal here?
I am.
And just talk to us about the process of designing the uniforms.
The process, it was really important to us that we recognised more than our name, and that we continued to grow our culture and pay respect to our Aboriginal community and culture across this space. So we worked really hard with a lot of community members, including at the local Aldinga Beach Primary School, to start talking about what it would mean to actually include an Indigenous design into our uniform. The feedback from that was very clear, that the uniform piece should be carried across all uniform and not be a single item that could be used instead. So we were really fortunate to work with Jordan Lovegrove to design a piece that actually represents our college. Within the uniform design is our logo, and then it's actually connected by all the communities and pathways that we hope to make both into Aldinga and across the school for our kids.
And what's the demand been like for enrolments? The Minister spoke about that before, but just go through the demand.
Yeah, he was spot on. Yep, we're looking really good. We're starting around 550. Secondary enrolments are looking really good. I think as people initially, were unsure, didn't have a lot of information about the school, and as it's grown and they've driven past and seen it, we've had more and more people coming through from the secondary that are in the area.
Just how sorely needed is this school down in this area?
Yeah, I believe it's time. It's the perfect time to really embed this. To us, it's so exciting that our kids get to stay in Aldinga and don't have to leave the community to go to school. So we're really excited to make this a space that actually connects them in and out of the school during the day and out of hours as well.
This new school is obviously a massive investment for the community and for future future generations. Just what are you expecting to see over the next sort of 10, 20 years in terms of enrolments, in terms of how busy this school is going to be?
Yeah, I believe that we'll continue to grow at the rate that we are growing. I feel that for the community, this is a really aspirational place. It's given people a real a feeling for what education can be, and within their own local area. I don't think the demand will drop, and I think people are going to be very excited to come here. I think in 10 years' time, we're going to have little people like Joel that are finishing up in high school, and what a wonderful opportunity that is to have worked through their entire schooling education in one site.
Do you feel like, as a community member, do you feel like there's a bit of a change going on down here, or has been in recent years, in terms of Aldinga's kind of connectivity to the rest of Adelaide than compared to what it was sort of a decade ago?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with the Minister. I don't know why you'd live anywhere else. I love it down here. This is a beautiful place. People want to live here. We've got the beach, we've got the hills, we've got everything around us that we could need, and now it's about connecting to those spaces. We're looking at that as a college, so to make sure that we're working with the local community spaces, the wash pools and the Salix wash pools and lands around it. So, yeah.
Could have 1,000 new neighbours in the coming years with this big housing development. Do you think that could kind of work quite well being next to the school?
I think that would be an amazing opportunity for families. I think, and something that's exciting for us is the connection for families at this school, to be able to have all of your children at the one space, from preschool through the primary into the secondary. And again, our kids with significant needs can come as well, so we can keep families together and connected. I can't think of anything better than kids walking from the local community to our school each day and playing football on the ovals on weekends.
And this school's starting term 1, everything's ready to go?
I jokingly said I could probably start tomorrow if I had to. We are ready. we're excited. We can't wait to get the kids in. Just to see them in our uniform now is just such an absolute joy. And no, we'll be ready to go.
Obviously, being in the south as well, just we're seeing a huge surge in sort of demand for houses around here. Obviously, all the amenities that go on with that as well, including schools. Just talk to us about sort of what you're expecting to see in the demand at your school.
Sure. So, as the Minister spoke about previously, there is no public high school within Goolwa, and Goolwa is a significant township on the Fleurieu Peninsula. So it's we've had a great amount of interest and lots of community excitement, haven't we, with the establishment of the new high school. So I'm expecting that to continue over the next next 5 to 10 years. Absolutely.
How much? Do you think it might help keep some people in the community who might have otherwise left to
Yeah, lots of so we've met our parents of the incoming students already at our Connect night, which is our enrolment evening, and lots of the feedback from parents was how exciting it was for them as a family that their young people could stay within the Goolwa community, because, as the Minister said, it's at least half an hour on a bus, which adds significantly to the students' day. Yeah, so it's nice for them to be able to stay within the community, play sport within the local sort of township as well. When students go out to Victor Harbour or to Strathalbyn, often they connect with those sporting teams and other community sort of organisations within those townships. So it's nice for the students to be able to stay within Goolwa and connect, not just in an academic way, but sort of in a more community oriented way as well.
Is this something that the community's been crying out for a long time?
Yes, it is. Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think of the uniforms?
They're really nice. They're comfy, and I love the colours and the patterns that represent Goolwa.
Did you guys have anything to do with the designs?
Yeah,
They had like a panel, and like everyone got a say in it as well.
Can you tell us a little bit about what the uniform is?
What the design?
Does it mean something?
well, this pattern here that represents the river, and
Then we got these, which represent the circles that represent community.
Well, it looks great.
thank you.
Brilliant. Well, how is everything going ahead of opening up in term 1?
Yeah, going great. Yeah, we've, similar to what Ali said, we feel like we're in a good position. We had the motto of staying ahead of the game this year and making sure that, we had all the foundations in place in terms of our recruitment, our curriculum, policies, procedures, how we're going to develop culture and identity across the school. So, yeah, staff are all on board, recruitment's all completed for next year. We're feeling really confident and excited about moving into the site in a few weeks and then setting up so we can hit the ground running day 1 next year.
And what's the demand been like in the area?
The demand's been strong, similar further to what the Minister said. We're between 550 to 600. But in learning more about the community and seeing all the developments and visiting them and the growth, we've got no doubt that in 5 years we'll hit our capacity of 1675. Growth's been good. But the opportunity to start smaller really gives us that opportunity to get the foundations for a really thriving, inclusive community set up so we can welcome our new students for the next 5 years. And these two will be our first graduating students, our graduating class of 2026, which is exciting.
Brilliant. So just to check, are you guys starting out with reception
Yep.
through to year...
Preschool?
Yep.
Preschool all the way through to year 8. Yep,
Brilliant.
and then we'll grow progressively each year. And 2026 will be first year of year 12s, which is really exciting.
Wonderful. Perfect. Well, how much has this site sort of been needed in Whyalla?
This has been a long time coming for the Whyalla community. So we do have 3 existing high schools, but they're tired and old, and it is time for the students in Whyalla to have the very best facilities available to them, and obviously the very best opportunities for their education.
How reinvigorating do you think something like a new school can be for a community like Whyalla?
I've actually seen it. So just watching the building grow and develop the way it has really sparked a real enthusiasm for what is about to happen in 2022.
And it's secondary only?
Yes, we're a little bit different. We are a 7 to 12 secondary school, and we are starting at full capacity. So because we have 3 schools closing and amalgamating, we'll start with 1,322 and have the capacity to go to 1,500, 1,800 if we need to.
What are the parents and students saying to you about this new site and what they think of it?
They're very excited. They're excited. I mean, the big thing, especially for the 2 future Year 12 standing next to me, is the amount of subject selection choices they now have. So the bigger the school, the more options they have. And they can really concentrate on either an ATAR pathway or a trades pathway. So the opportunities for the students in Whyalla to stay living in Whyalla and still get the education and pathway that they need is crucial.
Yeah, I was just going to ask that. I don't know who might want to answer this, but do you think this will entice more students to stay in Whyalla for their full education?
I believe so. I think with this school it's a great opportunity for TAFE courses and everything to go through that way. Obviously with the more subjects coming out of it, there's going to be more opportunities to go to uni and whatnot, and stay in Whyalla for uni because we've got University of South Australia and all that. So yeah.
So you think the options going forward are going to be sort of more broad
Yeah.
with this new school?
Yeah, definitely. I reckon that there's going to be a lot more opportunities. I personally am going into a TAFE course next year, so I think that's a great opportunity, to meet new people since that we're coming all together as a school. Obviously with the 3 schools coming together and whatnot, I think it's a great opportunity for unity in our community.
Is it a big change for the town as well? I can imagine, vaguely remember what school was like, if you've got all these different sites coming together, it must be quite big.
Definitely. I'm excited. I can't wait for the opportunities to come out of it and meet new people and create new friends, all from the other schools.
So I think it's really important that we put a big focus on the Whyalla community and what's important in Whyalla. And so from our logo through to our colours, we really wanted to represent where the land meets the sea. And so that everybody in the Whyalla community had some sort of connection to why we've picked the logo, why we've picked the colours, and why we've gone for something traditional but very modern at the same time.